Hey, guess who's back? Yep, I'm back, y'all. I was off for a few days, and I had to change the hair up a little bit. You know, it's hot outside. I had to do something a little shorter, and since I'm gonna be talking about important topics, I put on some important health. Okay. But anyway, welcome back to the channel. I am Melissa King, and I just came. Well, this gonna be a hybrid today. Usually, I just come to chit chat because you guys know my main channel is focused on finance. You probably see my econ standing next to my baby back there. My econ thing. Hey, Tatanisha. Thanks for coming, girl. So, yeah, my main focus for starting this channel and for the last several years since I started, really, has been to focus on finance. I have a home-based business where I teach personal finance training and help other people, you know, learn how to improve their finances. That includes credit, budgeting, uh, investing. Now, I know my name is not Charles Schwab or Charlene Schwab, but we got to look at everything in there. So I created this segment, Let's Chit Chat, so it won't be so overcome with all of the financial stuff. And y'all can kind of get to know me better and my crazy things. So today, though, and I don't know if y'all noticed with the thumbnail, I added a little thing to show what I'm gonna be talking about, not just chit chat, but chit chat and finances. So that's the plan for today, and I'm gonna tell y'all what inspired that in a minute. But if you just see the regular thumbnail, I'm just coming to shoot the shit. If you see the thumbnail with plus financial, I'm gonna throw in a little money talk too. So that way you can, if you the type that's like, man, I'm not trying to hear nobody preach to me about no money. I ain't watching. There you go. Or if you the type that's like, I ain't here to hear about her personal life and stuff. I want to learn something about some money. Boom. There you go. And if you want both, you in the right place. Okay. So now Tanisha, correct me, because I might have let it slip by. Is it still Amazon Prime days? I know it was 2 days. Was it the 11th and the 12th, or the 12th and the 13th? Let y'all know I ain't ordered nothing yet. Because if it ended yesterday, I missed it. But all of us get excited who do Amazon. Everybody's not an Amazoner. But most of us who do Amazon, we get excited when it comes to the Amazon days because stuff gonna get marked down. It's almost like Black Friday when things are gonna be marked down. So you done kind of waited on some stuff you have been looking for, and you like, nah, I ain't gonna get it right now because they're gonna mark down at me. Oh, it was the 11th and 12th. Okay. Well, that's a sign I ain't need to spend no money. Thanks for telling me. I must not have needed to spend no money, but I was kind of thinking about and y'all bear with me today because I'm gonna be using my desktop to share the slides that I put together. Yeah, I'm all professional. I got slides today. I'm gonna be using my desktop there, and this desktop is from 2016. It's old, it's stubborn, it's ornery. So if at any time my computer blanks out and the screen go away, we're just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing because this thing ain't no telling what it's gonna do. So my purpose was, I had said while looking to see during Amazon Prime if I can get a good deal. I'm not really a laptop person. I really am not. I'm not even really into tablets. I like a desktop or I'm on my phone. So my personality, I'm in the extremes. In the middle don't work. But it's cheaper to get a laptop. But is it just me? It seems like laptops don't last very, very long. Hey, Deanna, welcome to the show. I pulled out my new professional hair, girl. Well, it ain't new. But I pulled out my professional hair because I'm about to be learning y'all a little something about some money today, along with chit chat. Okay. So Tony. Now look, y'all. Tony Clockton is my business partner, my financial guru. When Tony talks, everybody ought to be listening because he got so much financial knowledge. And if you follow him on TikTok, he always doing something entertaining. He put out about 15 videos a day. I don't know how he getting anything done at work. And and he has a YouTube channel. So y'all go sub to his YouTube channel. It's called The Tony Clockton Show. And he's just a good guy to have on your team. He hype you up, motivate you, and gonna teach you something about some money. Now look at my mama call. Mom, I love you. I'm gonna call you back. All right. So yeah, y'all check Tony out. So Tanisha said the average lifespan for the I guess she's talking about the laptop is 5 years. Well, hell, I bought both of them in 2016. I bought my laptop and my desktop in 2016. So well, I hope my sound didn't go out. Did my sound go out because the phone was ringing? Tanisha, let me know if I'm still clear. But yeah, I need to get another one. I'm of the thinking if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it got to be broke. I mean, broke to the point that I can't see the screen. Okay, thank you. She said I'm all clear. It's got to be I can't see the screen. The buttons won't push. It's got to be major for me to buy something new if the old thing is still functioning. So that was what I was gonna look for on the Amazon Prime, but I missed it. Whatever. Anyway, so this weekend, just to get you caught up on the personal life, not a whole lot going on. Over the weekend, I had a girls' weekend, and Naya had a girls' weekend. Now her girls' weekend was here with her two besties and my mom, and they said it went all right. I had already made plans to go to Atlanta to hang out with my besties there, and one of them is on here now. That's my UAB bestie, Tanisha, and my other two other UAB besties, Stephanie and Latanya. We hadn't seen Latanya in a while. When we got to adding it up, we hadn't hung out, the four of us, in like 12 years because Latanya's in North Carolina and Steph and Tanisha are in Atlanta. And of course, I'm here in Alabama. So it was nice. We got out. We went to something called the New Black Wall Street. And it's so funny because I didn't realize, my friend Stephanie was talking about it one time before. And she was saying, yeah, me and Chris got up and went to Black Wall Street. And it was like a Saturday. She said it's okay. I'm like, y'all got up and drove to Oklahoma? Ain't that what Black Wall Street is? She was like, no, they got one here. So when we went this weekend, we went by there, and it was so awesome because, as the name says, New Black Wall Street. There's a lot of vendors in there that are doing African American based product lines. It's very neat, very well put together, very clean. I mean, the setup is sort of like a flea market type setup, but it was very nice, very elegant. You know, I really enjoyed it. And I spent some money. But the good part about me spending money, here's the thing. I'm a home-based business owner. Everywhere I go, my business goes. So for this trip that I went on, from the time I left home to the time I got back, was a business trip that I'm able to write off on my tax because I had to get in first off, I got the crap scared out of me because I was getting ready to leave Friday. And, you know, my car is a 2013 Nissan Pathfinder. I paid it off, I'm going to say in, I don't remember what year I paid off, maybe 2017. I don't know. Anyway, it's paid for. And I plan on riding that joker till the wheels fall out. So I don't want to get another car, so I try to make sure I keep the maintenance up on it. The most I have pop up is like, you know, that your tires are low and the reminder to get the oil change. So I'm getting ready to ride out. I took the girls to the grocery store, let them get their snacks for the weekend, and I gotta go. I'm just gonna go home, throw clothes on the bed, and I'm gonna hit the road. Lo and behold, the darn check engine light popped on, and I'm like, okay, from here to Atlanta, it's gonna take me about 3.5 hours. It's 100 degrees out here. I can't get stuck on the side of the road. So first thing I do, my brother does work on cars. And so I'm texting him, calling him 911, because he didn't answer the phone. I guess he thought it was an emergency. But I was like, my check engine light on. I don't know what the problem is, what I need to do. So he was like, just take it to an auto parts store, let them do the little scan thing, because he was like, it may not be anything major. So I did. I went to O'Reilly's. They came out, did a little scan, and it was my O2 sensor. So I called him back, and he's like, O2 sensor, yeah, that's not a big deal. I'm like, are you sure? Because I ain't trying to get stuck on I-20, I-65, none of it. 75, 280, none of it. So he was like, no, I'm for real. It's okay. So, it's something about driving with a light on. It's still, even though you done been assured, how you feeling like, I hope don't nothing go wrong. So anyway, that went fine. And like I said, it worried me because I was about to get on the road. But it didn't worry me from a financial standpoint because that car is my business vehicle also. So any repairs I have to get done, whether it had been an O2 sensor, some kind of belt or buckle or whatever cars have under the hood, I ain't no car person. It would have been covered because I can count that as a tax deduction because I use that vehicle for my business. So get in the car, hit the road. Like I said, that's 3.5 hour drive, round trip. That comes to what, 7 hours? I don't know what the exact mileage was, but I can write that mileage off because I was driving that car to go and conduct business. So once we got there, we went to that Saturday, we went to the new Black Wall Street. Well, like I said, it's set up very nice and it's set up kind of like flea market style. So while I was there, I went and talked to him about vending, got prices on if I wanted to set up a booth. Found, because I was trying to find out if I wanted to come just on Saturday and get a booth and sell my products or promote my products. Because not only do we do the financial services, my daughter has her shameless plug, Tide 9 Essentials hand sanitizer. So that's another product that we sell. So they told me that booth rent was like $100 a day. And I asked all the questions. I got some cards, paperwork and stuff. So when I went there, even though it was a girls' weekend, I went there as a business trip, scouting out a new spot as a vendor. So that alone made my trip a business trip. I did the same thing and went to Atlanta and not had a business, and none of that would have mattered. I wouldn't get to write off nothing. But because I do have my home based business, I'm writing it off. So the other thing, of course, we went up there. We went after the flea market thing. We went out to eat. Now for that particular meal, my other friend that lives in North Carolina, she has a business as well. So she paid for everybody's meal because she knows, just like I know, that's a write-off. It's a business lunch. Because what do we talk about at lunch? We talk about a lot of stuff. But most importantly, I mentioned why I was scouting out their business. I talked about, some things with my econ. And so I had a discussion about business with 3 friends, 3 potential business partners. So when I enter that into my cash flow manager, because I keep a cash flow manager and that allows me to track every dollar I spend that is able to be deducted. So y'all YouTubers, I want y'all to keep this in mind too now. Because if you're a YouTuber and you're getting an AdSense check, if you're out and you go live and you talk about something, while you're having dinner and you're treating YouTube as a business, hey, write it off. Don't believe me. Check it for yourself. But this is what my company teaches people: how to leverage their income, how to do tax deductions, and how to write off your lifestyle. Like I said, I'm trying to do this as a hybrid. I don't want it to all be businessmen, not tell you the other stuff. So we did. We went out and did. I hate to say we went to the club because I'm down there 50 years old. So, Tanish, what you call it? I'm gonna say we went to a bar. It wasn't really a club because to me, in order to be a club, you gotta have a dance floor. But y'all know how we do. We can make any place a club because we'll just get them and start dancing. We don't need no dance floor. We make our own. But they had a DJ. And hey, Steph Johnson, this is my other good times clip best, y'all. She's the one who I thought had drove to Oklahoma to go to Wall Street until she set me straight. And hey, Dwight Whittingham, another business associate. It's good to see you, Dwight. Tony told me we might be getting an interview from you soon. I'm looking forward to it. Tanisha said we went to the juke jump. So apparently we didn't go to the club, we didn't go to a bar. We went to the juke jump. So anyway, okay, Stephanie, you say you're driving. I got you. So we went and hung out there. The music was good. I went live from there too, but not for too long. We had some good drinks, some good eats. But honey, like I said, I'm almost 50. So when it started getting towards 12 o'clock, I'm looking at my watch like, y'all know I'm on Cinderella time, right? I don't care if I'm having the time of my life. When that clock hit 11:59, I'm finna be like on The Color Purple when when that little lady asked Hoppo who the woman and the piano player shut it down. Time to go. That's me at 11:59. It don't take all night to do nothing. I'm ready to go home. It was fun. Okay, so Dwight said yes soon. So I will keep y'all posted for when we can have our interview with Dwight. Because me and Tony still, even though we haven't been consistent, but we working on it, y'all. Me and Tony usually go do our lives where we focus mainly on finance. Okay, so that was good. Had a good time. Sunday, came on back to the house. So that whole weekend, I was able to write out my gas mileage and my entertainment, as far as lunch and drinks and all of that stuff, because I have a business. So if you have a business, you get the right stuff off. And we were trying to do, let me just say, for any of you that were on our live the other day, it was me, Tony, Pandy from Pandy Hair Candy and More, and Gio from Boss Life Online. We do a segment every other week talking about the advantages of home-based business, but we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, so we only got through part of the show. So this was some of the things that we were going to talk about on that if you didn't get a chance to watch it. So now, I told y'all about my weekend. I came back, the house was in one piece. So, night and them, my mama hair wasn't no grayer than it was before I left. So they didn't drive her crazy. So it was they had a good weekend. And also, some of y'all have probably seen too, I try to stay busy doing something and getting her involved too. So Naya and I have started our own podcast. And I've been promoting it on my different social medias, and it's called Captivating Converse. Let me see. What is it called? Oh, Captivating Casual Conversation. And they're not real long. I don't like to do nothing where people have to listen a long time. I think the most it might be is 10 minutes, but it's usually a conversation I'm having with her. Sometimes about serious stuff, sometimes about silly stuff. So, we got one coming up soon. I just got to get in and do some editing because I haven't done it yet. So, look forward to that coming out and follow us on our podcast. Okay, so now let me get to the meat and potatoes. Now that I let y'all look at me and my cute hair, I'm gonna go off the screen because I'm gonna do a slideshow. So y'all pray, everybody, with like minds in the house, pray that this old uh computer let me get through my lovely slides. So give me a second, y'all. Y'all want to hear me? Let me know. I see Tony said he was gonna entertain us till I come back. Y'all didn't hear nothing I said. Hmm. I didn't realize that, guys. I'm sorry about that. Um. Okay. Yeah. Do I have sound now? Sound now? Can y'all hear me now? Hey, can you hear me now? Okay. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to. I was trying to take myself off screen so that you know, the the slide would be the have room to be the only thing y'all see. Let me play with this for a second. How can I? Because I'm trying to. I want y'all to be able to see the slide more so than to see me. So I was trying to do it where I was not really on the screen. But maybe that's not gonna work. I don't know. Okay, so hopefully you can see it. I hope y'all can see it. But anyway, what I was saying was, uh, now that just threw me off. Okay, back to focus. Well, she did put the stuff out there. She had right. Shut up, Tom. He told me so. I did put the disclaimer out there that I had a regular computer. It wasn't a computer, it was the old folks. It wasn't the technology this time, it was the old folks. I didn't know what I was doing. Okay, so I don't know how much y'all heard before, but what I was saying is I want to talk to you about ways you can improve your credit. So, a lot of times people will, and I'm going to be completely transparent with y'all. I hadn't always had perfect credit. A lot of y'all have heard my story before. I still got PTSD from going to car dealerships and getting approached at the airport and signing up for stuff at stores and getting turned down. So I have evolved, but don't think for 1 minute I ain't used to have a 591 credit score and I was over 30 years old. So uh, I had, well, don't worry about it. So yeah, so I just want y'all to know this is not coming from somebody who's always been on top of their credit. I've had issues in the past that I had to work through, and but God, I didn't made it to a point where my credit is good. But let me tell you something. Just as hard the struggle to get good credit is just as hard to keep good credit. You can't just get to that point and then decide you ain't paying attention to nothing. You still got to stay on top of it. So with these slides, I'm going to talk to y'all about some budgeting things because good credit, the essential part is paying your bills on time. So a lot of us don't do that because we don't have a system. Now I'm kind of organized when it comes to things like that because I'm a person who has to have like a structure. So we got 4 ways to pay monthly bills on time. Number 1, it says make a list of every bill. Number 2, find out when your payments are due. Very important. Number 3, add the payments to a calendar. Now this can be a paper calendar. It could be a electronic calendar. I do a lot on my cell phone. So I keep I do reminders that pop up for whatever day certain bills are due, just to remind me. And then it says streamline the payment process. So what they're saying with that is, a lot of us, a lot of people are old school and they feel like I'm not doing no automatic withdrawal. I want to be the one who go in and make the payment, or I want to mail the payment. Some people don't even believe in doing it on a computer. They still want to pay it in person or they want to mail it. That's your preference. But whatever you're gonna do, get a system for how you're gonna pay it so that you can keep up with it. So just to give you an example of how I do mine, I take all 4 of these and I'm an Excel sheet person. So this is my Excel sheet and it's blurred out on purpose because I ain't trying to put y'all out in my business like that. But anyway, what I do, and this particular Excel spreadsheet goes all the way back to 2011. I started this sheet in 2011. And you'll notice on the side that I'm on, the lines tell you which number you're on. So I'm on like line 3,000, so I'm going up to 4,000. So what I do is, like right now, I'm budgeted all the way to New Year for, And I don't put everything on here. I just put the things on here that I know I'm gonna have to pay every month. And I try to keep a system so that I can, at a glance, just know what I need to know. Because like when I look at it, you see the areas that's highlighted in yellow. I know those payments are coming out of a specific checking account. If you see the ones that are highlighted in blue, they're coming out of a Wells Fargo savings account. That's why their color is blue. The ones in red, those are all credit card accounts. Anything you see where a black line is, that account is caught up and I have a zero balance. And then you'll see I've got my acorns, anything in green. And it sounds like a lot, but because I've been doing it for years, it doesn't feel like a lot to me. But I'm a visual person, so when I look at it right off the bat, I know, okay, everything I had to pay for the pay period of 6/23 has been paid because everything says cleared on the side. But this pay period, I still got a few things left that haven't come out yet, and I can tell because two are not highlighted in yellow. Those are coming out of a Wells Fargo account, and the two that are highlighted in yellow are coming out of other account. So it's like, a system where you don't have to necessarily just study it, but you can glance at it and see where you're at. But the key to it is you have to check it and update it. Now, I have always been, well, not always, but now I'm a person that I go in and look at my bank accounts on a regular, because if even a penny is off or something don't look right, I'm finna find out what's going on. Because that's a good way a lot of people get over on you. They'll start sneaking little fees in and stuff in that you may not even realize. When you were surfing, you clicked the button and you made a mistake and joined somewhere some money coming out. I've done it. So, you want to stay on top of your account. You don't have to be OCD like I am and look at it every day, but keep check on it. So now, for this, like I said, I can look at that and tell what's due, when it's due. I know if I have an A on the end, it's an automatic draft. I don't have to worry about going in and drafting it out. But if there is no A on the end, I know that's something I got to go in or go pay it. So like my utility bill, it's not an automatic draft. So this is how I organize and stay ahead. So now, like I said, these are only my utilities, credit cards, things that I know for a fact that I'm going to have to pay every month. Now, little stuff like eating out, shopping, things that pop up I'm not prepared for. There's no way I could keep a list for that because those are like incidentals. Those aren't things that you're going to be able to plan ahead for. But just get yourself a basic budget. So you can see I hit all 4 points with my Excel sheet. And if anybody needs help setting one of these up that is close to me, yeah, I don't mind. I'm a big I love Excel because it keeps me organized. Okay, next slide. What we got next? Ooh, my computer's showing. Now it ain't put me out of nothing yet, and y'all can still hear me too. Okay. All right. Benefits of having a good credit score. Now, some of this may seem basic, but I'm gonna go over it anyway. All right. You get better rates on your car insurance. That is true. I can tell you I was paying way more for car insurance, but when my credit was still down to the 591, then I paid for it now. And I even called because see, it's so many myths out there that people like me. Because my thing was, okay, I thought as long as you had no wrecks, the older your car gets, the lower your car insurance should get in your tag and stuff. So when I got to the point that my credit was good, and like I said, my car 2013, and I'm trying to figure out why my insurance is still almost $100 a month. And so I called them, and they were like, "Ma'am, yes, you have a good driving record, but it's based on the economy too. It's not just you, everybody. So you got to think about inflation, But that was a myth that I had about car insurance. Number two, credit it increases your approval chances for a rental application. Yes. Now, I I don't know how many of y'all be biting your nails and looking at you trying to decide. That's where my PTSD come from. Trying to decide whether I'm gonna get approved for something. Is it worth me even trying? Because they just gonna tell me no, and I'm gonna be cheap or embarrassed. Okay, you get better interest rates on your mortgage. You and your neighbor can have the same house, same floor plan land, built by the same folks. If their credit is better than yours and they get a lower interest rate, you might be paying a mortgage of $1,300 and they might be paying a mortgage of $900. It ain't fair, but that's how it is. I mean, it's fair in a way, but you know what I never understood about credit, and this is just me thing. Why give me a higher interest rate if my credit is bad? It's obvious I'm struggling. So you're gonna give me a higher interest rate and I gotta pay more than somebody with good credit? Let them pay more. Shoot, they got the money. But that's how I thought before when I, get turned down for stuff and getting them high rates. But it makes sense, They like, now you got to earn this discount. We not just gonna give it to you because you're cute. We need to see a credit score for credit. Okay, improve your chances of getting hired. Believe it or not, a lot of jobs do credit checks as well as background checks. Pay less for security deposits and improve your chances for credit card and loan approvals. So those are benefits of having good credit. And I can attest to almost all of those. Okay, next slide. All right, so with this, that's still time. It's still number 4. Let me make sure I ain't skip something, y'all. No, I guess I didn't. Okay. That was number 3. Okay, so for this next slide, I wanted to give you a real life example of how having good credit can put you in a good position. Okay, so I got this email, and well, first off, this is my FICO score. Right now, it's at an 814. Very proud of it, but like I said, it goes up and down. Getting it and keeping it is two different things. Because a couple of years ago, it was 837. What happened to make it go up and down could be a lot of different things, but it's like some stuff is just gonna happen based on the 5 things that they look at when they're calculating your credit score. But I'm still good with an 814. So my FICO score is an 814. Because of that score, I got this email regarding a promo that they're having with Old Navy. Now, I have an Old Navy card, and Naya, I got Naya as an authorized user on it. So it says, and I don't jump for everything that's coming through. You learn also to kind of be careful what you sign up for. So when I saw this low rate promo offer, I'm like, now what is this all about? But then I see it says enjoy 3.99% promotional APR on all new purchases for 7 months with your card. Okay, it's July. In the next 7 months, we're gonna start back to school, and we're gonna have Christmas. So as you can see, I'm a nice fluffy girl, so I'm not really buying nothing at Old Navy. But when it comes to school shopping and stuff like that, being able to go in and get her school clothes with that interest rate, if I decide not to go ahead and pay it off, because a lot of times when I use my card, I don't use it for a huge amount. So at the end of the month, I'll just pay the whole thing off. But should I choose not to pay it off, the percentage rate is only going to be 3.99% for those 7 months. After that, it goes back to the 29.99% that I have all the time. So that's like 4%, 20%. That's 26% difference in how they're charging you interest on your purchases. So I said, okay, yeah, I can do that. So let's see. I went ahead and signed up for that, and please read your fine print when you do these type things, because I highlighted where it says promotional offer. When the promotional period ends on March the 1st, 2024, your standard variable rate, which is 29.99, will go back into effect at that time. So I got to stay aware of, and I may just like I'm the type, I'll put a thing on my phone, on my calendar. Like they say, it starts March the 1st. I'll put a reminder on my phone for February 25th. Old Navy APR special ends on the 1st. Just to remind me, if you got anything on there that you hadn't paid off, don't pay it off, because it's gonna go back to that other rate on March 1st. So that's, and I was able to get that offer because of my credit. So that's one of the examples of how credit can good credit can be a good thing. Next example, what we got. Oh, so I just wanted y'all to see. I put this up here because let's say I spent $500 on her back to school stuff, which is not completely, she getting older now and stuff happens. So what I wanted y'all to see is the difference in interest for a $500 purchase at 3.99%. The interest for that is only $19.95. The regular interest for a $500 purchase for me with a 29.99% is $149.95. Y'all see that? Okay, this is right in your face. The difference that credit and APR make. And that's another thing, when you are applying for your credit cards, I know a lot of us are just glad to get approved, but pay attention to what your APR is, which is annual percentage rate. And and that's your interest on purchases. Pay attention to that, because some places they'll be quick to give you a card, but then you don't realize how high the interest rate is. So that's something else that you want to pay attention to. Okay, so let's move on, because I'm coming up on an hour, and I ain't gonna hold y'all no long time. Okay, 6 things that can hurt your credit score. All right, first off, just one late payment can affect your credit score. Second, not paying all of your bills on time. And that's why we have the budget and the calendar I was showing y'all. Next, applying for more credit. It can hurt your score if you're applying for more credit and your current credit is already, I'm not going to say jacked up, but your credit debt to credit ratio, meaning how much your balance is opposed to your limit, and you think the solution is going to get another card, well, that could hurt your credit. Canceling your zero balance credit cards. I've had this conversation recently. You don't want to cancel, and I have done some in the past. And I've noticed also, I still got to find out, some companies will deactivate your card if you don't use it for a long time. I've gone through that with JCPenney. I'm in good standing with JCPenney. That I used to get Naya's hair done there. But once I stopped going there, I didn't have a balance on that card. So I went in like maybe 2 years later and was just in the store gonna get some, and they told me I would have to reapply for credit because my account had been closed. I'm like, well, I didn't close it. So I don't know how they decide which accounts are going to be on auto close, but I do need to check into that, because if you have a card with a zero balance and you've had it for a long time, one of the things that affects your credit score is your history of credit links, meaning how long you've had it. So if you had a credit card since the 90s and it's in good standings, that looks very good on your credit, because that's one of the things 5 things they look at. All right, let's see. Transferring balances to a single card, they say that can hurt you. And co-signing credit application. That's self-explanatory, because I done got other folks jacked up co-signing for me. So be very, very, very selective on who you gonna co-sign for. I don't care if it's your kid. Now, I mentioned that Naya got that card, but Naya does not have access to that card. So you think about who you co-signing for, because we all know that if you co-sign for them, you vouching for them, and when they mess up, they coming for you because you said that this person was, you were willing to put your name on the line for them. So keep that in mind. Okay, next slide. All right, surprising ways to increase your credit score. All right, so first thing, keep your old unused credit cards open. And we basically just talked about that. Be a good tenant. These days, you can use your rental history as part of your credit. It's like one of the credit boosters. And I have added that along with my cell phone and my utility bill. Because if that's something that you never late with, that can be a good thing and increase your credit score. Okay, become an authorized user on someone else's credit card. And I'm gonna go over that in a minute because like I said, I did that for Naya. So that's for two reasons. One, to establish credit, because a lot of times when kids go to college or finish college, they may have done good, they haven't acquired a lot of debt, but they don't have any credit. So that's still a risk for anybody that's looking to finance them. They ain't got nothing to go by. They don't know what you're gonna do if they give you that money. You might go hard while and they may never see you again. So it's good to have a credit history. And I started her, let me see, I have her as an authorized user on a MasterCard and that Old Navy card. And she's had both of those for about 3 years now, and she's 13. So when she gets to be 20, she'll have 7-year credit history. Now, as long as I keep my credit good, because just like with the cosign thing, her credit will be good. But if I fool around and lose my mind and mess my credit up, that also will mess her up because her is attached. That card is attached to both of us. So if it's that type of deal, and and life happens, anything can happen. I don't even want to jinx myself, but you can lose your job, something can happen, money in the same. Take that authorized. My advice would be to take that authorized user off if she better hit the fan because she hadn't even used the card yet, and I don't want to mess her credit up based on my circumstances. But as long as my credit is good, she is an authorized user on my account. Okay, return your library books. Seriously, now this was a new one for me because I didn't realize the library books was a thing, and I did check out a book. I ain't even gonna put that out there because somebody might be watching and work at the library. Never mind. Don't forget about store credit cards. Okay, those store credit cards like JCPenney, Kohl's, different ones. You get them, you make your purchases. Go ahead. If you're making smaller purchases that you were gonna, I look at it like this: purchase something that you were gonna spend cash on anyway, and that way, when the bill comes out, just like if you had cash, you were gonna pay it off when the bill comes, because that's showing that you're consistently using the card and you're paying it off, and your debt to credit ratio is staying down. So that's a good look. As for credit limit increase, I keep talking about debt to credit ratio. That means what your balance is versus what your limit is. So if you have a card that has a $500 limit, and then on any given Sunday, the balance on that card is $495, and all you got is $5 that's open for, and you just doing the minimum payment and all that stuff, your debt to credit ratio is gonna be smaller. You only got $5 in there to play with. So what I do sometimes, and this is even on cards that I don't have a balance on, I don't have a lot of credit cards, but I will go online and do a credit increase. Not because I'm finna buy something, but even if I do have, let's say I got a card that has a $500 limit, and my balance on that card is $100. So my debt to credit ratio, $100 to $500. Well, if I go in and get a credit increase and they take it to $1,000, my debt to credit ratio is now $100 balance on $1,000 card. So you see what I'm getting at? You're creating a bigger space and that looks good to a lender, you know. So that's something I do periodically because it doesn't cost you anything, and then if they turn you down, it doesn't hurt anything. But I do that every so often. All right, so next slide. Okay, now this is kind of talking about the authorized user. If you've never done this, and this is something that you want to do, and it doesn't necessarily have to be for somebody that's related to you, because of what a lot of people are doing now as an additional means of income, is they're selling their credit lines, which means you make somebody an authorized user. Let's just say Tony's credit is jacked up, or it's not. I'm not gonna say it's jacked up. Let's say Tony's credit is tight, and he wants to maximize it, and because he's thinking about within the next 6 months buying a car, and he's at, right at 700, but he wants to kind of get over that hump. So what I could do for Tony is tell him, look, my credit is 814. I pay my stuff on time. If you'll give me $50 a month, I'll let you be an authorized user on my card for the next 6 months. Now, when I say here authorized user, all I'm doing is going to this site, clicking on that button at the bottom that says add user. I'm not going to give him the card when it comes. That card is going to stay with me. It's going to have his name on it, but it's going to stay with me. So basically, I'm just charging him to use my good credit. I'm leveraging that as a business, so to speak, and I'm helping him out. So as long as he doesn't have access to the card and can't go hog wild, it won't affect me personally, but it will be beneficial to him, which is why people will charge you not anything outlandish, because it's not a permanent thing. Like I said, he's gonna be buying a car in 6 months. He's just trying to get a quick build over the next 6 months. So if him doing that is gonna help him get a lower interest rate on his car, he don't mind giving me that $50 a month. So that's a thought for people who do have good credit. For people who have kids that want to help them get their credit established, like I am with 90 Proof, you can go in and add them as an authorized user. And so you'll go in and click on the thing at the bottom. And then, as you can see, it shows activated cards. It shows mine, Melissa King, and it shows 90 Proof. So she is an authorized user for this card. She has her own card with her name on it, but it stays with me. And it shows interest rate, the APR rate, all that stuff. So that is a good information to know if you're trying to help somebody else, if you're trying to improve yours, and you know somebody that has good credit and will trust you to make your you don't really have to trust somebody so much, because the key is do not give them the card. Do not give them access to the account. This is in name only that you are authorized user and to build your credit. All right. Next slide. Okay. So this one, I want to talk to you about another stream of income. Now, y'all might not think it's a stream of income, but it is. And I'm going to show you how. Okay. So we're talking credit cards. We're talking payments on time and all that stuff. So one of the things I was saying is use your card, pay it off every month. So I have this one particular card that I only use for gas and I use it for other things, but let me put it like this: I only get gas and groceries on this card. The reason I do that is because the card has a point system, and I get a pretty good point amount for those particular purchases. And you're gonna get, like, even if you didn't have a card, you gotta get gas. You got to buy groceries. So that was money you were going to spend anyway, cash, if you don't have a card. So spend it in the same fashion. What I do is when I gassed up to go to Atlanta, I use that card. When I took the kids out to get snacks for while I'm gone, I use that card. And so when the bill comes at the end of the month, I go ahead and pay it off, because I got the money because I didn't use my debit card where the cash money was coming out. So it's the same thing. You're just, putting it like that. So the good thing about that is, as I use it, I'm collecting points. So you'll see down here at the bottom, it says I have a total of 15,125 points. Now I don't know how long it's been since I've done something using my points. So I can't really break down how many I get a month, but it's gonna depend on what you spend. And so at current, I'm at 15,125. So um when I go over to, and that's why I brought up the Amazon Prime Days, because, I have this card linked to my Amazon account. So therefore, every time I get a point, it's going to show over here. So when I get ready to check out from Amazon, when I'm ordering something, they give you an option how you want to pay for it. Well, if you see down there where I have it highlighted in yellow, because of the 15,000 points I have on my card, I have 121 dollars in reward points that I can spend on whatever I'm about to buy on Amazon. So if it costs $5, $5 gonna come out of that 121, and I have $116. This is money that I have made just by using my credit card to pay bills I was gonna pay anyway. The points added up, and it gave me money. Now, it's not like I went out and sold anything or, had to work for it. This is a benefit of good credit. So now, and the way I was going to tie that all in, but I guess I missed that boat since it's over, is okay, so I got this $121 that I can use if I wanted to buy the computer or the laptop. And so if I go here and look at, and it's kind of small, but they're showing the cost at the Amazon Prime Day rate for these computers, these laptops. So one, and I can barely make that out myself. Shoot, that first one says $544.99. The regular price was, I think, $600. So you're already getting the Amazon Prime Days discount. On top of that, I have my $121. So when I add that to it, that knocks that price down even lower to $430 some dollars. So I'm using that money to make a purchase. So I just kind of wanted y'all to see how they can come full circle and how you can do simple things that'll have multiple results. Because by me using that card, I am helping my credit because I get my stuff and I pay it off every month. So that's meeting the criteria for paying my bills on time. I'm making sure that my debt to credit ratio, debt to credit ratio is a whole nother thing. It doesn't really apply to this situation. But I'm using that money to gain points. The points are allowing me to make purchases with money that I don't have to spend. And all of this was because my credit score is in a good place. So that's how all of that is linked together. I hope that tied in well for you guys. Okay, so I'm almost done. I think I only got a couple more slides. Okay, 4 common credit repair myths. So all of this credit information, part of my business is I sell a do-it-yourself credit repair system. The do-it-yourself credit repair system comes with everything you need to figure out what's going on with your credit. It comes with the letters that you need if you need to challenge something that's on your credit. What else? All of the tips that I'm giving y'all, these slides, I didn't prepare these. These are part of the My Credit System information. So that lets you know that it's very thorough, and it was over 100 slides. I just picked out the ones that I wanted to use today. But they're very informative. And what the lesson that I like about the do-it-yourself is, a lot of people in the past have paid people to repair their credit because they didn't know what to do, or maybe it had so much stuff on it that it was too cumbersome or whatever. So you go in, you pay somebody $500, they do what they can, and honestly, there's only a 1 out of 5 things that you can do that contribute to your credit score. There's only one thing that they can really work on, and that's any not late, but any false payments. So if you got something on there, and it may not necessarily be false, it might just be something that shouldn't be there anymore. They'll write the letter and get it cleaned off. And you know what? It may be worth paying $500. Your credit might go up 100 points based on what they've done. But here's the thing: um, you're a satisfied customer, so you're like, oh wow, my credit went up. This is good. They tell you, it's great doing business with you. Please, uh, promote me to your friends, blah, blah, blah. So now you're going to go around being a walking billboard for this person and bringing them more business, which you should because they did their job. But the thing they didn't do is, and I can't speak for all of them, but most of them will not go through and tell you all of the things involved in their credit score and ways to keep it from getting back there. So it's just like when you take your car to the shop, they fix your car and they tell you, well, it was the click a clock a winger wanger. You don't know what a click a clock a winger wanger is, but they told you they fixed it. You happy, you going on about your business. Your car break down again, you're gonna take it back to them to fix it again. It might have been something you could have done maintenance wise to keep the click a clock a winger wanger from messing up again. Same thing with credit. If you don't know how to keep your credit good or what goes into making your credit score, then you're going to end up back in that same situation. Might be 2 years later. And what are you going to do? Oh, I remember when so-and-so fixed my credit for me before. I'm going to go back to him. He got repeat business from you, and he done got everybody else you referred to him to help you fix their credit. So I'm not saying hiring somebody to do it is a terrible thing, but I will say it's more beneficial with our do-it-yourself system because you sitting there going through the stuff, you're figuring everything out. So not only are you fixing your credit, but you're learning what makes your credit the way it is. So now that you know that, you kind of armed and better prepared when you make purchases. Some stuff that you may have bought before, you may not buy now because you know, well, this is gonna affect my credit. Well, this gonna have my debt to credit ratio too high. Well, this might bring my score down because blah blah blah. Now, because you were the one who fixed your own credit, you know what's involved in keeping that credit score where it needs to be. So we have to do it yourself kit. But let me give you 4 common credit repair myths. Okay, myth number 1: opening many lines of credit will increase your credit score. Not true. Number 2: closing credit accounts will increase your credit score. What we just talked about, if your account has no balance, you're in good standing, and you've had it for a long time, closing it is not going to be the best idea because that's actually working for you. That's showing that you have a longevity in your credit history. So no, that's not a good idea to close credit accounts, and it's not going to increase your score. You can increase your card score by removing negative accounts. Now, removing negative accounts is not a bad thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your credit score is going to jump up through the roof. So that's a common myth that people think, all I got to do is get this off and then it's going to be perfect. Not true. Okay. Paying off loans early will boost your credit score. I found that out personally. I paid my car off early and I was just excited, number 1, because I no longer have a condo. And I'm thinking, that's going to look good on my credit. Well, no, that didn't. My credit went down a couple of points, and I'm going to tell you why. Usually, they want you to have 2 different types of credit. Yeah, they want to see installment debt and they want to see revolving. Revolving are your store credit cards, your gas cards, whatever you pay that you can pay it off every month or whatever. Installment credit is like a car note or a personal loan or a mortgage. Installment is exactly what it sounds like. You're making installation payments with a goal of completely paying something off. So they recommend that you have at least 3 revolving debts and 1 installment. So once I pay my car off and I rent and I don't own, so I don't have a mortgage, I did not have any installment debt. All I had was revolving. So what I learned is it caused my score to go down a little bit. So where I was at say 830, it went down to like 827. And I'm like, what? And then I had to, once I found this out, I was like, well, okay, I learned that lesson. So what I did for that to bring it back, and I think I talked about this before, I went out and did a personal loan with the bank, not for the money to make a purchase, but just so I could have some installment debt because I set it up to pay it off in 2 years, and I think it was like either $5,000 or $10,000. So that put me back to where I had installment and revolving credit going on. All right, so keep those four myths in mind. You hear people saying that. No, that's not necessarily the case. Next, we're going to look at mistakes to avoid when you're repairing your credit. Okay, avoid talking directly to debt collectors because you can fool around and they're going to finagle you into agreeing to some stuff that is going to set you completely back. One thing that I did learn is like, we all know certain things will fall off after 7 years. So let's say you had an account that you messed up on, because I had somebody legitimately up them up. So at the point that I was checking my credit, it was like right around 7 years. So really, if I gave it a little longer, which don't use that as your game plan to improve your credit, but I was right there on the cusp. So I'm like, I can just let that fall off. So what I didn't realize is if someone calls me, when I answer that phone and start talking to them people, that restarted the clock. That 7 years started back at day one. So now I got to wait a whole another 7 years because I didn't let them talk me into sending them $10 a month when that $2,000 debt was going to be wiped clean had I just rolled that thing out. So avoid talking directly to debt collectors. Do not agree to anything unless it's in writing. So that goes right back to do not talk to them. Because if it's in writing, you're not talking on the phone. Yeah, so do not agree to anything. Don't close any credit card accounts. So when you're in the process of trying to repair your credit, don't close any accounts down. That's going to look, negative. Don't apply for a major credit card. So just like they don't want you to close anything, don't add no big card, no, to it. Get a secured credit card to build credit. And I know all about those because when I done had a couple of rounds where my credit was messed up, and I did the secured credit, but don't follow this example. I got the secured credit card where, it was with, I think it was Premier One or something like that. So got the card. It only had a $300 limit, but because they know you're trying to rebuild and we live in a capitalistic society, and they say, okay, we're going to give you this card to help you build, but we're going to get ours too. So that $300 limit card started out already with a balance of $179 on it. So I had to work my way to paying it down to zero. I already started out with it halfway charged up because they took the fee out of the card. So I had that, and had I went ahead with it and kept paying it on time and cleared the balance, eventually I could have asked for the credit limit to be increased. What I do? I messed that one up too. I stopped making the payments. So getting a secured card is a good thing. And that's another tip for not necessarily somebody with bad credit, but new kids out of college just starting out. They can get a card like that and start their credit from there. So it's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you get it and don't do great with it, but it's not a bad thing. And the last, quickly remove negative interest. So if you see something on review your credit report, that was something I didn't do for a very long time. Because I tell everybody how I found out I had that 591, I was living in South Carolina and I went to the car dealership looking to make a purchase. And when they came back and told me, well, ma'am, we ran your credit and your score was 591. I didn't know my credit. I had never ran my credit report. I used to get them letters all the time that they send you when you apply for something, and the folks tell you, and I quickly learned when they tell you they're gonna contact you in the mail, you ain't gonna approve. And they send you the letter and they saying you can go and review your credit within the next 30 days and see why you returned down. All of them went to the shredder because I'm like, you know. So at that point, he told me my score 591. I'm like, 591 out of what? You know, it could have been 591 out of 600, but it was 591 out of 850. So I proceeded to leave that man's nice establishment because he wasn't finna let me drive off with nothing with that credit score. So you want to check your score, you know, once a year. All of the credit, there's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Once a year, you're given a free report. Other than that, I don't know if it's gone up, but it used to be like $13.99 to get a copy of the credit. Get a copy of the credit report. See what's on there. Make sure that everything on there actually belongs to you. I had, and I told this on one of my financial story times where I was getting ready to move to Florida and pulled my credit report the day before I was going down there to look for apartments and found all of this information on my credit report that did not belong to me. Melissa King is apparently a very common name. So there was other people's stuff for states that I had never lived in. Now, I was able to get it straightened out, but had I not checked my credit, I wouldn't have even known that stuff was on there. And then, you know, it's still creating an issue because, like I said, I was going apartment hunting the next day. So what I had to do, because I didn't, and it didn't show up on all three. I think it was just Equifax maybe. So when I was talking to the people, I'm like, well, I'm trying to get an apartment. They said, well, when you go to the apartment, ask who they use to check your credit. If it's Equifax, then, you know, explain to them what has happened. But if it's not showing up on your TransUnion or your Experian report, then you'll be okay because it was just that one. So, you know, check your credit score, your credit report often. Just like everybody else, they make mistakes. If you call them on the mistake and you can prove it's a mistake, they will take it right off because it didn't even take 30 days for me to get all that stuff off. They got it. I called them on a Friday evening. I went back and checked again, and they had taken the stuff off because I had never lived in Kentucky and all that different stuff. So it was like it was a scary experience, but it taught me a lesson. Always check your credit. There's no reason for you not to do it once a year when you get it done for free once a year. And you don't want to check it every day anyway, because, you know, at any given time when you pull your credit report, it's going to be based on the last 30 days. Like, for example, I just paid off a credit card yesterday. It would be crazy of me to run my report today because that's not going to be reported until the next 30-day cycle. So I can't see if it affects my score. So I ain't saying check it every day. I would recommend definitely the free once a year. If you're like me, I'm a part of one of those. I'm a part of the Experian credit thing, and I can run mine for free at any time. There's a monthly fee with that, but I don't mind the fee, knowing that I can go in at any time and see what's going on, lock my cards, whatever I need to do. So I think that is my last slide. I went over a little bit. I didn't mean to talk for over an hour. I apologize for my technical difficulties when I didn't realize y'all couldn't hear me. But I hope the information was useful. Please like the video, share the video, and come back and join me next time. It may be I'll only be doing finance if you see the thumbnail that says plus financial tips. If you don't see that on the thumbnail, I'm just shooting the shit. I ain't talking about nothing for real. But hey, come do that with me too. So anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. I hope the information was helpful. If you would like any information about starting your own business, getting this do-it-yourself credit kit, all of that, look in the drop down. If you're on my YouTube page, if you go down to the description, it has a link to everything. So click on the link, reach out to me, and I'll have to condense this to be able to share it on Instagram, but it'll definitely I'm airing it on Facebook as well. So y'all reach out to me. Let me know what you want to do. If I can help, I'm more than willing to get you started. Y'all have a great rest of the week. This was so long, I might not come back tomorrow. Bye.